All right. Well, thank you everyone for this evening. It's great to see everybody. Um, this is my daughter Millie, so she's with us tonight. But I just wanted to. Okay, hang on. I wanted to kind of start off by introducing myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Margaux Martinez, and I've known Stephanie for 7 or 8 months now, and she's awesome. She is become a good friend and a great mentor in the Juice Plus business, and I get to work alongside her every day. She's a holistic health coach, and she's going to kind of dive in and share some information about Juice Plus, and then get to hear my story a little bit later on. So without further ado, Stephanie, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. If you guys will do me a favor and go ahead and mute yourself out because there's going to be background noise and we are going to pass this video along to other people and that way they can actually hear what we're saying. So if you just go either on your phone or on the computer to the top right of your box and just push mute, it should mute yourself out. And then Margaux, you can unmute when you want to share your story. And then later on, if we have questions, we will unmute as well. So again, like Margaux said, thank you guys for taking 30 minutes out of your evening, your precious evenings, to be with us tonight. I know there's a lot of Margaux's family on here, and there's a lot of Catherine's family on here. So we're just excited you guys are all here. Like she said, my name is Stephanie Fletcher, and I live in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm married, and I have 4 kiddos. And I am a holistic health coach. So if you don't know what that is, essentially, it's just a fancy word for getting to work with people one-on-one or with groups and just helping people meet them where they're at in their health journey. And so across the board, I get to meet lots of people in different parts of their health journey, and it's a blast. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. And I used to do a PowerPoint on this, and you guys, I'm not a PowerPoint girl. Like, it weirds me out and makes me nervous. And so I got rid of the PowerPoint and I got visuals. So we're going to have like show and tell. And so that we're just going to keep this really simple. If you have a question, at the very bottom, there's a chat box, and you guys can just put that right into the chat box, and I can answer it as we go. So this is more of a conversation instead of a presentation, okay? All right, so 13 years ago, I was kind of in a little talk like this, except for we were in a living room, okay? And I was a trainer at the time. I was working in group fitness and corporate wellness. And so they came and presented us with what we call Juice Plus, fruits and veggies in a capsule. And I'm just going to be honest, at first I was like, what in the world? Because as a trainer, I was presented with just about every supplement on the market to either take it or sell it. And so I just very kindly, gently just said, no, thanks. And I kind of had turned it off right from the beginning and wasn't really even listening. So if you're here and you're already turned off, listen, I promise it's going to be good. So they were talking about all these fruits and veggies in a capsule. So when I went home and I did a little bit more research, and because I was really intrigued, because I knew, like, if I asked you guys, and y'all can raise your hands, so I love the cameras being on, like, who yesterday had 9 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies? Let's just be honest. Raise your hand. Okay, so like you could probably see, that is 0% of this group. And so this company came up with a brilliant idea to take vegetables and fruits that were actually fully vine ripened. Okay, so when you're buying stuff at H-E-B, well, I don't know what it is, and Schnucks or H-E-B or whatever it is in where you are, and you buy your fruits and vegetables, even the organic ones, well, they've been ripening on the back of a truck or a boat. Okay, so I love the fact that they wait till all the nutrients have been vine ripened, how they're supposed to be, how God created it to be, and then we pick them and they juice them, everything in it, the peel, the seeds, and everything. Obviously, except for like things like pineapple, we don't take the seed of the what's that called, apricot or whatever that's called, with the big seed. But everything else goes into the blender, baby, and we juice that thing, and we take all the incredible nutrients from it. We dry it in a very low heat, so we're not losing any of the nutrients. And then they put it in capsules. Okay, and I'll show you guys. Take these bad boys out. You see these little things? That's the veggie. It's green. And you guys, these are super easy to open, and they're vegan capsules. So we have lots of vegans. Ironically, you would think they get lots of fruits and vegetables, right? But they actually take these and they want the vegan. And so this is really important. And these are very easy to pop out. We put them in baby food and all kinds of stuff. And then they also put it in So this is the vineyard, the purple ones. And so they wanted to meet kids where they're at, right? So of course there's some natural sugar in here so that the kids can take them. And you guys, they're delicious. So we get both the capsules and the gummies. These are supposed to be for our 4 kids, but we also snack on them. So you guys, we get lots of shipments of gummies at our house. And so they literally, that's what they did. And so they've been around for 25 years. And in that 25 years, we have come up with 37 published research studies. Now, if you guys are the skeptical kind or kind of like, I don't know about this, then I love it. We love those types of questions because we can go directly back to the research. So I get so many people, I have heard every question in the book. If it's out there, I can guarantee you I've heard it. All right. And so, I totally got off. Sorry. I have ADD too. I don't know. You think it would have helped a ton with that, but I'm going to continue going and then we're going to go back to my story. So, anyway, so they have come up with this, and the fact that they have 37 published research studies is unbelievable because most like pharmaceutical drugs out there, do you guys know how many they have to have published research in order to sell a drug on the market? This is interesting. 2. That's it. Just 2. 2. And we 37 places like MD Anderson, Vanderbilt. So these people, these cancer patients have been taking our Juice Plus and doing a study on it. And that's how strongly they believe in this product. They've put their name behind it. Okay. So that to me was like the biggest thing. So between the research studies that have been published on this product and then this little thing right here are the 2 main reasons I said yes to the product 13 years ago. So see the back here, you see how it says nutrition facts. Okay. If I had a bottle, like a vitamin bottle, which I don't because I haven't taken those in 13 years. And this is really weird, but Mom, you're on here twice. So I see 2 of your faces. Okay. Little odd. My mom has 2 heads.
This has never happened before.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. I was like, wow, there's 2 of my mom. So there's nutrition facts. And that means that if you were to go buy a bag of tangerines, let's say at the supermarket, they also have nutrition facts. And so it is not considered a vitamin. So people that say like, oh, I take those Juice Plus vitamins. I'm like, it's not a vitamin. Okay. So you can take these post surgery. You know how they say don't take any vitamins or supplements before surgery. You can take these unless your doctor says you can't have apple, peaches, cranberry, prunes, dates, beets, whatever. So I love the fact. And if you live in Texas, it's not even taxed because it's considered food. It's literally considered food. All right. So those 2 things, the research study and the fact that my body could recognize every bit of it and that it was food, I said yes. Okay. Hi. Oh, that's my 3-year-old. Outside, please. Hold on 1 second, please. Maddox. Okay. So, when you work from home, you just have to deal. So that's when I said yes 13 years ago. Now, here's the funny part is I wanted nothing to do with the company. So I actually said, you know what, I knew I could get 2 other people and that would give me a discount. So I knew my parents would probably try it and somebody else. So I got 2 people. And then I said, no mas. I don't want to do this business. I just want to be a happy customer. And I was literally a happy customer for 10 years. Okay. We lived abroad for 5 years. We lived in Peru for 5 years. So if you guys speak Spanish, yo conozco el español. But so when we were there, we couldn't get the product super regularly, obviously. And so we could only get it when our parents came or people came to visit. So when we got back 3 years ago and we moved to San Antonio, Texas, I was actually 6 months pregnant with our 4th child. And he was a big O surprise. And he came out with a big O surprise. And that was called a uterine rupture. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's essentially where your entire uterus, and mine unfortunately was glued to my bladder. So my bladder, my uterus, everything down there shredded. Okay. And so that's, when they talk about people that die in childbirth, that's actually what I had. But obviously I survived and the baby was fine. But I had a long road to recovery. And so through that, we started getting a lot of hospital bills. Okay. That was number 1. And number 2, my doctor, who was doing all of my post-surgical stuff was like, your body is healing extremely fast. Like I've never seen this before. I can't even feel your stitches, they're dissolved. Like everything is going so fast. He said, I'm just curious about what you do. And I said, well, I don't do anything. I was 9 months pregnant a week ago, and all I've been eating is Chick-fil-A. And so I've been doing nothing except for take this stuff called Juice Plus. And he was like, well, what is it? And I said, well, it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. You should look it up, whatever. But I wasn't selling it. So about, I think it was a month later, I realized I could tell how fast my body was healing. I mean, it was pretty incredible. I had a catheter in for 3 weeks. And literally have zero residual effects from anything that happened to me, like none. They thought I was not going to be able to pee right for the rest of my life. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And I had nothing. And so it dawned on me that when the doctor had asked me about Juice Plus, and then I started hearing lots of things. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto disease, which affects your thyroid. And here's what I believe. When you have a crisis happen, okay, if you have any kind of genes, underlying genes, that crisis will turn them on. And so my uterine rupture actually turned those genes on, and my autoimmune disease kind of popped up. And so I went into kind of a healing process the last 3 years. And that's why I went back to school to become a holistic health coach. I started learning so much about just how our bodies heal. And so, again, a month after that, I started realizing that so many people just did not get fruits and vegetables. I mean, everyone I talked to, in Peru, fruits and vegetables were readily available to us and cheap. I got back here and I'm like going to buy an avocado, which there I could get huge avocados, like 5 of them for not even $1. I got here and I get this like midget one for like 99 cents. I was like, what in the world? Like, where have I landed? I was missing Peru super bad. And so I thought, you know what? I mean, I'm walking around just looking at how many, literally we have hospitals now, like little offset emergency rooms, and on every corner across the street from every Sonic and Starbucks and McDonald's and everything else. And so I kind of went on a mission, and I decided that this was my mission, that I was going to tell people about these fruits and vegetables in a capsule, because you know what? They're not healing agents. They're not like you're going to take them and they're a magical pill, right? But here's what's happened. And Margaux will share her story in a second, but they are, I feel like they're kind of kickstarters, or they're catalysts to other health changes that you can make. Because you know what? Eating those fruits and vegetables, yes, they're going to make a difference, and they help with cell regeneration. They help with everything. Your body knows how to heal. I believe in God, and God made our bodies incredibly, incredibly smart. I mean, they heal themselves if we give it the chance, right? If we're feeding it what we need. But there's all these outside circumstances like toxins and chemicals and pollution. And then there's our food now that has less and less nutrients because we're not patient enough, and there's supply and demand. And so we're pulling that stuff out, way too early, and then ripening on a truck. And the stuff that's saying it's organic is ripening next to a truck that's not, or it's being farmed next to, a farm that's not organic. And so the wind blows, and guess what? All that organic stuff just got a ton of herbicides and pesticides on it. And so there's just all these things. And I think, you know what? Health is so complicated sometimes. At least that's what we've come to the conclusion, I think, that we just kind of throw our hands up and we're like, forget it. This is all too complicated. One day they're telling us caffeine is good. The other day they're telling us it's going to kill us. I mean, it's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But here's what I'm saying. These little capsules or gummies, they have been a huge Hey, Cruz.
Where's my shake?
Your shake is downstairs. Speaking of shakes, which I'm going to get to that in just a second. You know what? That was a great segue, Cruz. I'm going to go ahead and segue to this, which is our shake. This is the other product that we have. And this is our complete shake. And it is totally plant-based, which I love. Everything in it your body can recognize. Okay. And this is actually what I am drinking tonight as part of my dinner. Also, as a part of my dinner, I have a glass of wine. And I have a big bottle of water, because it's called Balance, people. Balance. So these protein shakes are amazing, and you can have them, if you need something quick at dinner or for breakfast. All 4 of my kids have them every breakfast to make it simple. And then the last thing is these omegas right here. These are incredible. How many of you guys have been told by a doctor or just know in general that you need omegas? Anybody?
I do.
Okay. Awesome.
I do.
That's Mom. I'm going to call you mom because it says mom cell on there. I think that's Margaux. So these omegas, they're incredible. They just came out about a year ago, and they have omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And here's the really cool part. We bypass the fish because here's the thing, guys. Omegas, like there's no omegas in the fish. They're getting them from the algae that they eat, right? So we bypassed the fish and went straight for the algae, went straight for the plants. And so I absolutely love these. They have no fishy burnt taste, which is awesome. And my 3-year-old that y'all hear screaming, in fact, I should have him demonstrate, but I don't want him in here, but he will actually chew these up. So he puts them in his mouth and he chews them up. And so those are really the products that we have. We have bars too, but I'll skip those right now. But we have the shakes, they're unbelievable. We have the capsules, we have veggies, fruits, and berries. And then we have the gummies, veggies, fruits, and berries, and the omega. All right, so that's kind of the overview of our products. And I just want Margaux to kind of share her story a little bit, because obviously my story was more of a story of prevention. I kind of started off with, just taking it because I knew I needed it. I knew our family was not getting enough fruits and vegetables, and it just made sense. All of my kids have been on it. And that's just how we get our nutrients, and on a daily basis when we're sometimes eating at Chick-fil-A. And yes, we do eat tons of fruits and vegetables in our home. I mean, I'm a health coach, and so I have to instruct other people of how to do that in an easier and a simpler way for their families. And so we do that, but this is just kind of our insurance policy, right? So Margaux, tell us a little bit about your story and why you got on Juice Plus.
Absolutely. So kind of my Juice Plus journey begins really with my son. I was on a quest to find any kind of help for my son. So for those
Can you get a little bit closer, Margaux, so we can hear you better?
Yes, absolutely. Is that better?
Okay. A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so Millie, stop. Sorry. At 13 months of age, my son Oliver was diagnosed with sensory processing disorder, and it kind of focused in his mouth, and so it impacted his eating. And we struggled horribly to get him to eat anything. Just any new texture just drove him up the wall, and it was a big struggle. And of course, this caused constipation. So, thankfully, he never had any severe constipation, but it was consistent enough that it was problematic. And he was labeled as failure to thrive by I don't know how many. He has like a dozen doctors, and most of them labeled him as failure to thrive. We always just stayed like a micro step ahead of a G-tube, and that was a big concern for us because we knew Oliver would just pull it out. And at a GI his pediatric gastroenterologist, he had a follow-up in October of 2017, and she had always been very, very supportive of non-invasive measures, least invasive measures with Oliver. And he was 4 and weighing 27 pounds. Okay. And she essentially told us at that appointment that if he didn't gain 2 pounds by December, that we would probably need to have a G-tube put in. And so, of course, panic set in. And in late October is when I was introduced to Juice Plus. A very good friend of mine got me in touch with Stephanie. And as soon as I heard that Juice Plus was essentially fruits and veggies in a capsule and gummy form, I said, that's what I need. Sign me up now. So I started the capsules November 6th, and it was a struggle to get Oliver to take the gummies because, again, the sensory processing disorder, right? And so I tried sneaking the powder into his milk and capsule powder and nothing. And so we were kind of just getting frustrated. And he was supposed to have his follow-up December 8th. And for those of you in San Antonio, we had the infamous snowstorm December 7th. And so I had to cancel. I had to reschedule his appointment. It's funny how things happen. And so that follow-up was now set for February 9th. Well, on December 8th, that afternoon, I was on a Facebook call, kind of like this, but on Facebook, and a woman shared that she dissolved the gummies in water for her son, who had similar issues as Oliver. And I thought, aha, that's it. So that's what I started doing on December 9th. Started doing that for Oliver. Within a week, his bowel movements regulated. They were great in color, consistency, regularity. And at his follow-up on February 9th, his GI, his stomach was soft. He had gained 3 pounds. He was 30 pounds. The doctor said he looked healthy. She was going to start to wean him off his Prevacid, and he will take his last dose of Prevacid this Friday. So 2 days from now, he'll be off of it. Yes, amen. And the best part about this, y'all, is that she no longer felt a G-tube was necessary. She was so excited. Oh, no, that's a lamp, Millie. Stop. She was so excited about Juice Plus, and I had taken some research to share with her. And she asked to keep it. She wanted to look further into it, but she said, keep doing what you're doing. This is awesome. And so, like I said, overall, I mean, Oliver's appetite has increased. We still struggle here and there, but I think across the board, it is better. Okay, yes. He hasn't been sick. I mean, maybe some minor allergies, if that. He's asking for more juice. We dilute it with water, and part of what they notice with kiddos that take Juice Plus, and even with adults, is that they start to, ask for more water. They want to eat more fruits and veggies. They want what their body craves, what they're giving it, right? And for the first time on my birthday, just this past June 13th, he had finished his juice, and he asked me for water. He actually asked me for water, which has never happened. So that's awesome. And Oliver also takes that plant-based omega that Stephanie was talking about as well. So he's doing great. It's a long journey. It's going to take time, but he really is doing wonderfully. And something that I kind of want to go back to, when I spoke to Stephanie, I'm going to kind of transfer to me now as the mama. When I first spoke to Stephanie back in October, we were talking about Oliver and going on and this and that. And she very sincerely asked, how is your health? And it kind of caught me off guard. I thought, well, terrible, but we're talking about Oliver here. And she used a wonderful analogy. She said, when you're on a plane and they say when those oxygen masks drop, that you need to put it on yourself first before you affix it to others. She said, you need to take care of you so that you can take care of your babies. And it hit me, and it never really dawned on me. And so something that I've been taking Juice Plus now for a little over 7 months. And I've had some minor kind of like mini colds, if you will, but very little symptoms, if that. I'm actually starting to crave more fruits and veggies, which is kind of weird, but cool. And for those of you who don't know, I suffer from bowel obstructions. I've had, I had one at a year and a half, which I don't remember, but I had one at 20, 25, and 30. And basically I've been told that I can't have anything that's hard to digest, so raw fruits and veggies. And so Juice Plus gives me that peace of mind that I'm getting what I need every single day without worrying about the risk of an obstruction. Or at least I'm prolonging it. I'm told it'll happen again. It's just a matter of when. But at the very least, I know I'm getting what I need, into my body to help me. A few weeks ago, I was sharing with Stephanie that I had just been feeling kind of run down. I wasn't sleeping well. It was just kind of a rough few weeks. But through it all, I never lost my energy. Even when I was 40 pounds lighter and taking B12 injections, never did I have this much energy. Millie, that's not nice. Never did I have this much energy. And so I know that's Juice Plus, and that's what it does. It's giving me, by flooding my body every single day with over 30 Millie, stop. With over 30 fruits and vegetables. Look, let's put your glasses on. It's allowing my body to work for me and not against me anymore, and that's priceless, you guys. So, I don't want to take too much of your time, but if you're, even semi-interested, I encourage you to reach out, and it's just been a wonderful blessing to us. Millie takes it too. She loves her gummies. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Stephanie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so Margaux I love her story and just how it kind of started with having, and a lot of us, get Juice Plus at first. I know a lot of mamas who've gotten Juice Plus because they want something for their grandkids or their kids. And my question is always to them, like, well, what are you doing for you? And I feel like a lot of times we think about ourselves last, right? And so I want to encourage you guys, and please, you guys can ask any questions at all. One thing I wanted to share real quick is, and I love this program, is the fact that Juice Plus has something called the Children's Health Study. They've actually just recently changed the name to Healthy Starts. But what this is where if any adult orders the Trio capsule or the Trio gummies, you can actually sponsor one child to get the veggie and fruit gummies for free up to 4 years. And so your kids have to be between the ages of 4 and 18 or in a 4-year university. And so they've been doing this for a long time. And so my kids have been getting free Juice Plus. And then my youngest one, who's 3, will start getting it free when he's 4. But what's fun is that my husband and I each have a kid apiece. And then my parents have one of my kids, and then they'll sponsor my 4th when he gets to be 4. So I love the fact that they really, truly believe in children's health, and they're on a mission to help these kids. What, Dad, did you? Oh, I thought he said something. Anyway, so that is a children's health study. And so between the children's health study, the company has been, to me, I can't like not talk about Juice Plus and not talk about the company, because I was one of those people that for 10 years was like, I am not selling anything or doing direct marketing or doing any of that sort of thing. And then 3 years ago, when I saw this incredible need for people, and I've always been passionate about health, obviously, with my job, but that, and then I also had this huge financial need with all these bills coming in. And so the two of those were unbelievable. And the fact that I have gotten to share Juice Plus and gotten to share the business part about Juice Plus with so many people. And it's been a blast. I don't know where Catherine and Steve went, but I don't know if they're still on or if they disappeared. But they're people that I had in my life back when I was a child and lived in St. Louis. And her and I just reconnected for the first time because of this product. And so it's just so fun that we get to all kind of connect. I would have never known Margaux had she not reached out, because a customer of mine actually had told her about Juice Plus. And so anyway, I'm just glad you guys have all got on here, and you guys, we're going to open this up for questions. So if you guys want to unmute, y'all can. We have about 8 minutes left if you guys have any questions. And you can stop the recording, Margaux, if you push stop recording. 60 servings of shakes and at one time, and that's $117. So it ends up being like a $2 meal. I always say más o menos because I don't know how to say that in English. How do you say that in English?
More or less.
More or less, right?
Oh my goodness. Y'all, something's wrong with me. More or less. And then as far as, so the trio capsules, where's my other one? It's purple, but just pretend. So the trio is $71.25 a month. And then if you add the free child to it, then it's you'd only pay the shipping for that. So it ends up being like, I think I pay $73 a month for the trio and one of my kids for free. And then if you want to add the Omega, that is $33.25 a month. Okay. So, why are y'all laughing at me?
You too can take Juice Plus.
If I can do this business, anybody can.
Amen.
Sorry. All these other people are like, what in the world is going on? Okay, so Michelle or Norma or Juan Reyna, anybody have any questions? That's only names on there.
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm Nora. I'm Margaux's mama.
Yes.
I have a question. What does, on the bottles, there's an NSF. What does that stand for?
I am so glad that you asked that. We only have 2.5 minutes, but so NSF is the certification that Juice Plus pays for. It's an extremely expensive certification. But when people ask us like, oh, are all your plants, are your fruits and veggies organic? We say, because some of the farmers don't have all organic farms. So in order to get certified, that the farmer doesn't want to get all their stuff because it's a huge expense to the farmer. So what we have done is that we get a third-party certification, which is NSF, and they test every single batch of Juice Plus for herbicides and pesticides and mushrooms and mold.
Okay, that's good.
So it's actually a higher standard than organic. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, because when I went to see my PCP and I told her that I had started this, I started, actually I do the trio plus the Omega, and I also have the shake. Mm-hmm. And I, fortunately I had some lab work done like in December, and I started taking all this in January, and I'm due for some lab work in like October, November, somewhere around there. Uh-huh. So when I shared with my PCP that I had started on all this stuff, and she asked me what that NSF stood for, and I couldn't recall. I think Margaux had maybe explained that to me before, and I've got it written down now. So when she asked me, but I'll be curious to see if my lab values change in any way, because I do have high cholesterol, even though I am on medication, if my levels drop considerably, I'm hoping that I can maybe get off the medication and just stay on the omega, and just see what my sugar levels are like. I already know my blood pressure is really, I don't know if it does anything for your blood pressure, but my blood pressure has improved. And there's a lot of other little subtle improvements that I've noticed in my overall health. So I'm just thrilled, to be taking this, and more importantly, how it's helped my grandson, Oliver.
Oh, that is awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. And yes, my husband actually, he sent me a text. It was a while back, but he works for USAA, so it's a company that they do all their blood work and stuff, and they get points if they get better blood work. And his cholesterol and blood pressure had both come into normal range, and he circled it and he sent it to me, and he said, well, if I wasn't a believer, I was always a believer, but now I'm even more of a believer. He said, though I'm still obese. Because they did his BMI, which I don't believe in that test. So if you guys don't worry about that test, it says everyone's obese. But I thought, because he is not. He's very.
He is not, because I met him. I met him when there was a seminar with a doctor.
Yeah, he's
not
super
okay.
fit, but it has to do with muscle and weight. Anyway, it's just funny. But I thought it was a